Hello and welcome to another edition of the GetGrowing Weekly Work Session with Get Oiling. I'm Coach Ashley, and today we have a special live session for you. It is the week of Christmas here, where Christmas falls on a Thursday, so we won't be meeting live at the same time we normally do this week. So we are here on Tuesday to chat about what it looks like to sell more than just oils with Get Oiling. I'm excited to have you here today. Feel free to, actually, I would love for everyone as you're coming in, head over into the chat and let me know what it is that you offer alongside or beyond your oil. So beyond sharing Young Living, what kind of services, products, etc., do you offer? Head over into the chat and let me know. It's always so exciting and inspiring to see the work that you guys are doing, whether it involves your oils or it's something that is complementary to them. It's just always so cool to see what you guys are doing. So welcome, introduce yourself over in the chat. Let me know what you do. We're going to be getting into the finer points of what it looks like to get started with using Get Oiling for more than just managing your Young Living business. And if you're new today and you maybe don't even know what Get Oiling is or what it does, I'll take a quick minute to talk about what that looks like as well. Because obviously, if you have your main focus as Young Living, there are a lot of tools that are ready just out of the box for you that are going to allow you to more easily share, stay on top of what you're doing there with your customers, with your team, and providing those inroads for people to discover you, and of course then to move forward, maybe join a class that you're offering, hop on a wellness consult, etc. So again, excited to have you guys here today. As someone who has over a decade and a half of experience in working with healers and folks who are in this space, who are really just out to do good work for people who maybe don't feel super comfortable with selling, right? This is, you're in the right place here with Get Oiling. Obviously, if you're here, I think you probably already know that. But what you may not know is that you can actually run your entire online presence with just your Get Oiling account. And this is more true today than it ever has been before. Greg has been steadily adding some really awesome features here within just this past year that allow you a lot more control over what this looks like. So again, really excited to see you guys here. I've got a life coach, we've got yoga, mindful, mentoring, aroma freedom. I see, hi Tina, we got an ND on the call here today. Excellent. Raindrop. Fabulous, fabulous. All right, really great. Awesome. All right, well, let's get into this. So again, we're talking about today what it looks like to go beyond just sharing Young Living using your Get Oiling account. So what we'll talk about here today are the steps that you can follow to set yourself up as a brand. Now, when I say set yourself up as a brand, we can get into the finer points here today. I know we've got sort of a smaller group here. So if you have questions around these topics, I want to invite you to add those questions to the Q&A so that we can explore these things together. I want you to be able to walk away from this call confident and knowing what your next steps can be. So we'll talk about setting yourself up as a brand. Typically, for me, this means that you're branding yourself because you offer more than one thing. We don't want to try to do the mental gymnastics for ourselves to try to explain that, well, I do this, but I also do oils, right? If that's gymnastics for you, it is 17 marathons for the person that you're trying to get to see the value in what you do. So it needs to be simple. It needs to be clear. When in doubt, lean on your name. That's going to be the most helpful thing for you. All right, we're going to talk about what it looks like to keep your clients and customers organized. Obviously, if you're running more than one business, more than one brand or offer inside of your Get Oiling account, it's important that you know who's who when you're communicating. We'll talk about how you can streamline those communication strategies and set your offers up to sell. And of course, we will get into live help and Q&A on today's call as well. So if you have questions, please do add those to the Q&A here on the call. It's just me, so I don't have the team to nudge me and be like, hey, Ashley, check out the chat. The chat can get busy. So please do put that into the Q&A. And definitely please do consider joining us on a future call if you're watching this as a replay. We are typically live every Thursday at noon US Eastern Time. Obviously, this week being Christmas, next week being New Year's, we won't be meeting at our usual times during the holiday or convention. But generally the rest of the year, you'll find us at the same time. Oh, by the way, next week's Thursday call will be a recording. All right. Now, if you want one-on-one help on a live call, you can go to getoiling.com/website review. This is an awesome opportunity to work together live on one of these live Thursday calls. And if you would like to just hand off some of these projects to a qualified person who could get them done faster and professionally, we got that too. Our team is amazing. They do beautiful work and they're very reasonable and would love to chat with you. So head over to getoiling.com/concierge to learn more and schedule a zero obligation consult. All right. So let's go take a look at the things that we want to make sure we have set up in your Get Oiling account. All right. So first things first, if you are offering more than just oils, I would first recommend that you have a basic or higher plan for Get Oiling. Okay. So that's the first thing. Now, the reason why is because you want to have, if you are branding yourself for more than just sharing Young Living, we want to make sure that we can utilize tools to make clear who we help and how it is that we go about helping them, right? So we need to be able to create a custom homepage, right? And so with a basic or higher plan, you can have a custom website with custom pages. You can have a vault, which is, typically if you're selling something beyond just your oils, you are very likely someone who needs a space to serve those people. That might be a private client dashboard where you can share information or a course that you sell or give away. Group coaching, things like that. So you also get access to the member area and vaults when you have a basic plan with Get Oiling. So you do want to make sure you start there. Now, if you don't yet have a custom website, I want to recommend that you utilize this quick setup feature right here. This is going to give you everything that you need. You're going to be able to upload your photo. And again, I'll speak to this for just a moment here. If you are offering more than just oils, and I believe that this is just as true if all you're offering is oils, you need to brand yourself, right? The reason why people are going to buy anything that you sell is because you're the one that's offering it, right? And that's true for Young Living just as much as it is for the services that you provide. So this is why we are branding. Though Dr. Perkus and Aroma Freedom technique is fantastic and transformative, we aren't out in the world saying AFT, 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 because most people who need AFT have no idea what it is, right? Most people, I see several folks here work with mold remediation. Most people who are experiencing the symptoms of mold exposure don't understand that it was mold that got them there, right? So the thing that we do, the stuff of what we do, is not what we put ourselves out there talking about, right? So this would be like, I don't know, if you're a plumber, if you're just talking about augers all day. Well, no, your future customers don't need to hear about augers, but maybe your peers do, right? So we see how we're getting a little bit of a mixed signal that we send out to the world if how we're presenting is talking about our stuff and not about who it's for, right? So we are for our people. My recommendation for you, top of the list, is going to be to brand yourself. That's on your social, on your website. So that means having a custom website that is focused on what it is that you do and for whom. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be, creating like a bio here. That's not really what this is necessarily about. We do want to talk a little bit about our credibility and why we know what we're talking about, right? But at the end of the day, everything that we do needs to be about the person that we want to help. So the things that you'll do here first with your quick website setup or to upload a photo, you can create a logo. If you don't have one yet, I'll show you how you can get that done quickly. We also want to make sure that we've got headline and body text font. These are things that that we need to either leave here as is, which is perfectly fine. What you're going to see here preloaded will work. If you want to customize this, just be really mindful to consider readability, particularly where you might be dealing with people with different abilities, right? So we've got some folks who maybe can't read really scripty fonts, right? Or maybe it's just too busy for the eyes. So, keep it simple. This is a decent example here, and you'll actually see kind of what these look like if you search through here. And these are all free Google fonts that are provided. You can go through and provide some colors. Again, I recommend keeping things easy to see, easy to read. We don't want to distract from what we're saying. So when you go through that, you can save and move to the next step, where you then have the ability to choose a starting point from a template. You can also talk about what it is that you do and what it is that you offer. Again, focusing on who it is, who it's for, how it transforms their life. And you can go through this step, and our system using AI will get you about 75% of the way there, where you could go in and make some modifications to what's being said, right? So the very first thing that we want to make sure that we're doing as someone who is offering more than just oils is we want to make sure that we are setting up what is very clearly a business presence, right, for our brand, right? So we want to have that. And then the other thing that we want to consider having as well is a domain, right? So if you go under here, under my account, you go to website domains, you can connect one here. If you don't know what this means, that's fine. Just reach out to our team. Essentially what this is a website address that has your name on it, right? So if your name is long, difficult to spell, or someone else has that website, you could use a tactic that I've seen in our community for many years and use the word with and your name, right? So with Sheila.com, so that means that we're doing wellness with Sheila, or it means that we're doing life transformation with Sheila, with Sheila.com, right? So that's a cool idea that you can use. I would highly recommend that you, again, just be really cautious about getting too clever, right? Because if it's difficult for people to put together in a split second what it is that you do and whether or not it's for them, they will not pay attention. You could put the most valuable, incredible information out there, and we will lose people before we have a chance to even touch them if we if we confuse them. So clear over clever. Your name is the clearest thing that you can use. Consider getting a URL. Our team can help you do that, support at getoiling.com, and you can connect that here. Now, once you have that connected, you have the ability to do this multiple times. So maybe you do have different offers, maybe you've got slightly different audiences that you serve, and maybe you want some pages on your website to have a different address. You can do that here as well, right? So you have that ability. Now, I also would highly recommend that you head over to your account settings and also add email addresses. Now, my recommendation again is that you have a domain associated email, right? So if you have, I'll just keep using this with Sheila.com, then we want to make sure that the email address that people are receiving mail from after they opt into our website is hello@withsheila.com or sheila@withsheila.com, right? That is going to look a lot better than SheilaLovesOils@gmail.com, right? That might not even be recognizable. Again, creating confusion for people once that arrives in their inbox. It needs to be clear and consistent throughout, okay? So you've got a custom domain. A custom email address is ideal here as well. And you can also change your from name, even using the same email address. And so this is just going to change how something appears in the email. So you might say Coach Jane here and use that the majority of the time. But I also might want to send this as your wellness coach. Maybe I address that the from looks a little different when I'm sending to clients or when I'm talking to team, right? So if you want to differentiate, you could say, your Young Living mentor, and you only use that from name when you're sending to your team, for instance, right? So consider setting up some additional email addresses as well. It's free, it's simple to do. If you don't have a custom domain based email address, our team can help you with that as well. That again, support at getoiling.com. They can get you set up with that. You could use Google for Business, although our what you get through us, I believe, is more competitively priced. But up to you. So consider having that. Now, once you have that in place, we want to think about what it looks like to keep our audiences separated, right? So when we have our Young Living audience or our Young Living VO file, we want to be able to communicate with our customers, right? So in those cases, what you're going to do is you're going to follow the steps to import your contacts. And you can actually see that right here in your dashboard. You could type it in. You could go over here to get help and type in VO or import. But essentially, we are just going to click import contacts. And you will have gone through your Young Living virtual office to actually download the report of the people that you would like to download. Once you do that, you'll be able to walk through this process. Now, I highly recommend, and this isn't something that you have to do necessarily, because we do have categorization features in the Get Oiling Contact Manager that will identify customers from non-customers. But I would recommend that when you follow the steps here and you add your contacts, go ahead and add a tag to them that is Young Living, right? So that you can very easily go to your contacts and go over here to filter and find the people who are tagged with Young Living who are our customers, right? And this way too, if you are regularly uploading from your VO, you'll be able to capture everyone in your organization. And if you're doing this regularly over time, you'll never have to wonder where your inactives are, because you could basically go here to filters and find anybody who has ever been a customer. And then you can, go down further and figure out whether or not they are currently a customer, right? Because you can see this product customer is part of this contact type. So once you have that here, you're able to separate, to differentiate. And I think it's important too to make sure that you have that Young Living tag on your contacts, because you're going to have some overlap, right? There's going to be some people who buy oils from you who are also your clients. It's actually highly likely, I believe, for most of us, that someone who is our customer may also be a client for other services that we provide, that they may pay us for AFT or Raindrop or something like this, but they also buy oils from us. So if we need to make sure that we're only communicating with Young Living customers to say, talk about the product that's launching in January, we need to be able to identify those. Or we may want to only talk to our clients, right? So if I have a client tag, or my tags are for the specific offers that I provide to clients, those are going to be things that we can search for here, right? So you do want to make sure that your VO file is uploaded, and then just consider taking that extra step to include a tag that you use every time that would indicate Young Living, just so you've got that clear delineation, that you understand who all is actually Young Living, even if that includes people who are your clients. All right, let me see. I've got a couple questions here real quick. Sheila says, are YouTube and Pinterest worth maintaining and updating? YouTube 100%, yes. And I think that Pinterest can be as well with the right strategy. Pinterest is more of, if what you do is very photo image centric, and that's something that you enjoy. If you really like making graphics, or you like taking photos, you're a little bit of a photographer on the side, Pinterest can be a great way to get traffic to your website and to your content generally. It's a little bit more niche. But YouTube, I believe, and sorry, I'm going to say this out loud, this might scare some of you, I believe everyone should be doing it. Everyone here. If you have a brand and business where you serve people, I believe that you must do YouTube. And the reason why is twofold. One is video is the quickest way to build trust. And we need a whole lot of strangers to know who we are and trust us enough to give us their email address, and then hopefully even meet with us and pay us, right? So for that reason, because there is no faster way to make those connections with strangers than with video. And two, because Google and YouTube are owned by the same people. And so when people Google things, they search for things, because most people, when they search for things, they Google, right? Most people search and Google provides answers. A big part of that search is video. So if you can show up with both your website and with YouTube, right? You're basically two birds, same stone for the same content. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are interested, I am hosting the Attractwell office hours today at 11:30, different time, obviously, than normally 2 on Thursdays. And I'm actually going to be talking about YouTube and blogging and podcasting. So if you are maybe in a more advanced space and you want to explore those things, I would highly recommend that you maybe join us for that. Cornelia says, I have 2 domains with you and connected. I think so far I cannot use or manage the second domain emails yet. I don't know, actually. So a domain email, so far as I know, I think that we only provide one for you. But I would definitely reach out to the team. I mean, worst case, a second domain email, like from a different domain, like you've got domain A and domain B, you get domain A email from us, but you need an email for domain B. Our team can probably work that out, but in the event that they can't, I think what I pay and have paid for a million years with Google Workspace is like, $7, $8 a month. So if it's important for you to have that, that is something that you could do as well. But I could bring you out here in a bit to chat if you want to, if you have any follow-up questions about that. Rebecca says, do you also recommend differentiating Young Living customers from Young Living brand partners? Yes, kind of. That's an interesting topic that I can try to touch on today. And Rebecca says, YouTube public, do you also have some videos that you use on YouTube private? So once upon a time, a long time ago before Vimeo existed, or anybody knew what it was, I guess, I did advocate for using private videos on YouTube only for your team, and usually, in my view, only for your builders, the people who can differentiate negative SEO strategies and people who, poo-poo on Young Living and Young Living keywords for the sake of ranking themselves higher in search. We don't want our customers to be exposed to that kind of thing. This is why I don't recommend YouTube for anything other than lead-facing content. So YouTube for lead-facing content means I'm showing up and I'm talking to the person that I want to attract about the problems that they're experiencing, and I'm giving them context as to how I can help them solve those problems, right? That's the stuff you put on YouTube, where we're talking about unboxing, we're talking about product usage, et cetera. What you want to do with that is maybe host those using Zoom meetings here in Get Oiling, right? So have your Zoom meeting, record it, right? It will save to your recordings here if you record to the cloud. And there's a little link here that you can click that says copy to my video library. And all of those videos that you offer about Young Living ought to be in here, where you could then share them directly, or even better, you can put them into a vault in your member area. And then your folks can go and watch those videos and learn about product in a way that is not distracting, where their experience is curated, right? So these are public videos for the purpose of lead generation is what I recommend for YouTube. And if you have something that needs to be private, store it in your Get Oiling video library. All right. So differentiating Young Living customers from brand partners. The best way to do that, honestly, and this, I know it's a little bit of an aside, but I want to make sure that this is covered here. If you go to your contacts, you can go over here and see the tree viewer, right? So if you've got people who are actively building, they've got folks who like that they're enrolling, you can identify who those people are, and you can check a box and you can communicate with them. I would not necessarily do this as sort of a rule, like how I communicate with builders. I have a pretty specific philosophy about this in terms of builders. And it's really similar to my philosophy for customers, which if you're in momentum, then you understand kind of what the full scope there looks like. But I think that it's really important for us to work closely with people who want a result, right? And that doesn't have to mean that we give all of our time away or that we devalue our time in the process or stretch ourselves too thin. It really can be something that's very simple. So with customers, that looks like hopping on a 10-minute call with them using a call package. Here under call packages and bookings, we agree to meet 10 minutes a week to track how they're using product and following the steps that we recommend to help them get the result that they want. Kind of like a coach, but like just a quick check-in, because, well, they're not paying for coaching, they're ordering product. So if we're going about it that way, then then we've got an easy way to stay in touch and to help them get results. Now with brand partners, this is a little different, right? And it actually, I think, is even more important that we don't bulk communicate with brand partners, but that we, or assumedly bulk communicate. Obviously, if they identify themselves to you and they stay in touch with you in this way, then you could keep them on that list. But I would keep like a brand partner list, like people who are sharing something that is, what's the best way to put this? This really belongs on a leadership call, but what I would do in an instance like this is I would make a big deal about what the value is that they're getting, business coaching, et cetera, from you. And if they're engaging, and this is something that they want to engage with, but I wouldn't just include everybody, right? Because if they aren't actively sharing, if they aren't actively building the business, then they're not going to be roped in on everything that's happening, right? So again, what I would do in that case is where someone is interested in sharing, just like I would, and again, we teach this in momentum, identify why they want that benefit, right? So in the case of sharing Young Living, why do they want to make more money? What's their goal? Right? And then you guide them toward what the achievement of that goal looks like. And you check in 10 minutes a week, just like you do with your customers, right? So for those people who say yes, who are engaging with you actively, add a tag for them, right? Add a tag. And yeah, sure, have that be active brand partner tag. But make sure that these are people that you're regularly communicating with. I would argue it's even more important to be in regular, quick, close touch with your brand partners than it is your customers. After your customers have been around for a while, obviously, it's critical for your customers in their first 90 days. Okay, so all right, all emails we set up in Get Oiling get sent to our custom domain email from Get Oiling. Yes, yeah. So your email address for Get Oiling is going to be over here under your contact info, and this is what's going out. Like when you send from Get Oiling, this is what goes out. And then when people reply to it, that's also where it's going. And over here, you'll see webmail under my account. If you get that email from us, highly recommend as quickly as possible that you set that up to receive it on your device, in the mail app on your device, your phone, your computer. So Apple Mail on an iPhone or a Mac, or Outlook on an Android computer or phone. All right. The Attract Well, yeah, I'll shoot you a link for that, Sheila. Just I'm going to keep this open here and make sure that we get that by the end of the call. All right. So had a quick little detour there. So we've talked about keeping our clients and customers organized. Now, what it looks like to actually tag our clients when someone gets started with us, I'll actually be revisiting this here in just a bit because we're going to talk about what it looks like to take payment, right? So at the point of purchase is when they become a client, right? When they pay you. So we can actually apply a client tag to them at that point, right? So we'll talk about that here in just a bit, but I want to come over here and talk about how we can streamline our communications. So we have discussed what it looks like to have multiple email addresses connected, or at least multiple from names. So it's clear the purpose from which you're sending something. Now, how we can make very clear who we're speaking to and for what purpose, to what end, we can actually establish this and streamline this under this feature here in the content library called email templates. Now over here, you can create something new, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is going to be maybe a newsletter that I only send to my Young Living people. Okay, so I'm going to use maybe this soft floral themed one. I might want to go in and change these colors out for mine, right? These are obviously different in my color palette than what's here. By the way, if you are on basic, you're not going to see this, but if you get the branding add-on, I believe you should be able to see those built-in colors in the system. So once you're here, I don't want to necessarily spend too much time on design, although you can absolutely include in a template like this links and a signature sign off down here, things like this that are specifically for that audience. So let's just say, for instance, this is lead facing, right? Get my weekly wellness tips. I want leads to get those. Book a complimentary wellness consult. My clients don't need to know about that. My customers don't really need to know about this either, because my customers should be on their 90-day journey with me, right, to get their hero product with Young Living. So this would actually be an ideal signature for leads. Maybe I create a new section that is a signature that I just use for my team or for clients. Maybe these links get replaced in the signature. And by the way, if you want to create a new signature, just add a block, put whatever you want in it, and then click this little add block to my save sections. This one we would title maybe a client signature, or Young Living signature, right? So you could save these so that you could easily use them later, right? So yeah, make sure that you do have a signature that speaks to the audience if you're going to be going through this the way that I'll be sharing here today. But most critically, what I want you to make sure that you do is to have a version of this. If we go to settings, choose the from address. Right? So if this needs to be coming from a particular email address, or just from a name that makes it clear that this is Young Living and not your marketing, right? You can attach that here, right? So Coach Jane, maybe this is just for clients. When I save this, I'm going to call it client email template. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep this saved here. And I'll show you when I go and I maybe send a client newsletter to people who have worked with me. I could go, or again, I could treat this the same way for Young Living. Maybe this is just for my Young Living. I could search for just those people. I could pull up this template and it's going to automatically send. I don't have to remember to choose what the name is that it's being sent from, right? So if I exit out of here and I come over here to my contacts, or actually we'll just go to my dashboard. I want to send an email out. I'm going to go to send email, just one message. I'm going to look for my Young Living. So everyone Young Living, not just my customers now, but maybe everyone ever that I want to send this to. I'm going to click write email and I'm going to grab that. Here's that client email template. And it's already going to have the from address set. It's going to have the correct signature that we've selected. All of those designs are here in place. And so what you're basically doing here is you're creating systems for you to interact with instead of having to start from scratch and relearn everything all at once, right? So just to kind of recap here real quick, we have a custom domain. We have used the quick setup to create at least the start of a basic website, basic homepage. We have our email address attached. That is not Gmail, Yahoo, etc. It is from our domain. And then maybe we have a couple of different send from names that we set up over here in our account settings so that we can make more clear. Maybe someone is on multiple lists that we offer. Maybe they are Young Living and they are a client, but maybe they want to make sure they're prioritizing offering the client one, right? Or opening the client one rather. Then we can make sure that that is done using email templates. Okay. Tina says, on the Canva templates, can you show exactly which buttons to push to get the edited design back over to the email template? Ooh, okay. So I wonder, this is going to look a little different for you than it does for me. But if you have gone into your account settings and you have gone to connected apps and you have connected your Canva, then what you should be able to do is just open up that Canva template, like this one here. So you do need to actually open it up, and I'm in the account that created it. So this is going to look a little different from you. But if I go over here and I want to open this, I do want to make some kind of a change to it, right? But then what I can do is, if I want to swap this out, I can go to replace and click Canva. And I can create a new design. It will give me a pop-up. There we go. And then I should be able to just go over here to projects. There it is. And I can open that up and then return to Get Oiling. Right? So you will have needed to claim that template into your account, but then you use this feature here where it says return to Get Oiling. And then once it has, we'll come back over here and it's going to actually populate that image here for you. So that's what that looks like, just to give you the Cliff's Notes there. All right, let me see. For different areas of our business, is adding a page sufficient? We don't need a separate website for each. That's correct, Carrie. Yeah, you, Carrie, are a brand that offers many things. You can brand the things that you offer, right? You can call your program a name, and that program name could have its own website so that it's easier for you to share the front door to it. But you don't have to. It's just simply a part of what you do. And you don't, I mean, honestly, depending on what it is that you're selling, you don't even necessarily need a page dedicated to each thing that you're selling unless it's actually a sales page. If what you're doing requires you to have a conversation with someone to determine whether or not they're a fit to work with you, then all you really need to do is guide people toward a consult with you, right? And what that looks like, and let me just exit out of here. What that looks like is just setting up a booking type and promoting that booking type on your website, right? Having that be the primary call to action, schedule a call with me. Or if you have another point of entry, or maybe they have to download something And if they've downloaded that thing, then you want to sell to them, then you could set up a funnel in that case. All right. Rebecca says, can recipients of emails customize how often they receive emails, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and only by topic? Do they have those options to update email preferences? To an extent, there's a very, very basic one that is built into the system that essentially allows them to opt out of campaigns, specifically campaigns. They aren't self-changing their tags with this built-in feature, or they could opt out of all, right? We have done a training recently. Let me go over here to the Success Academy, and I actually I provided a resource bundle for this, and it's on our blog. I'm going to find preferences is what I'm searching for. Yep, keep customers and leads engaged with custom contact preferences. So this was just a couple months ago, and here, let me just grab you the blog post that'll get you everything. Essentially, what you can do here is you can create a page on your website. Let me find this here. All right, Rebecca, I'm putting this here in as an answer to your question. All right. So, but yeah, basically what you're going to do is create a page where you can provide automation options that change things for them, or you can have if they say, I only want to receive emails once a month, then you would remove their tag that you're filtering for when you send weekly, and you would apply a tag where you would send monthly. So you can customize what that looks like. And I do go into that here. And there's a training as well as a page that's sort of preloaded for you to use if you want. Okay. All right. So we've talked about what it looks like to send to our people, right? So how to kind of customize what that communication looks like, streamlining that. Now let's talk about what it looks like to set up offers to sell, because at the end of the day, if we're selling more than just Young Living, obviously we don't take payment when we're sharing oils. We are simply showing up and making an offer for someone to have a conversation with us, decide that they're a fit to work with us, etc. And then you move forward and let them purchase, or maybe it's a course, right? So whatever that looks like, you're going to want to determine what it is that you're selling, and then you're going to want to set up the payment pathway. Now, I am going to actually first show you what it looks like for you if you haven't set up payments and Get Oiling yet. And then I'll actually go into my own account where I will show you what it looks like once it is set up and how you can create a page where people can purchase from you. So first thing we want to do is come back over to our account settings. And we want to go here to payment processing. Here we can connect our Stripe account. Now, if you are just arriving at this step for the very first time, there is one very, very important thing I want you to do. This is an unfortunate thing that we have to do, but it is just the way things are on the internet. Stripe will turn you away forever and not hear a word from you if you've got stuff on your website that appears to be promoting CBD. If CBD is something that you promote, talk about, have pages about on your website, they will say, nope, even if you aren't actually a distributor or seller of that product, which you aren't, right? Young Living is, we talk about Young Living, right? So if where any of that is left, where it might be on your site, I want to come over here to customize my site. And I want to say customize built-in website theme. Here we go. See this option right here where it says show CBD products? Uncheck this and save your changes. Okay. This will remove any mention built in of CBD products because we do have a theme that highlights that. So uncheck this and save changes so that you don't run into trouble with Stripe. Now, once you've done so, we head over here to our settings. We go to our payment processing, connect my Stripe account, and it's going to take you to Stripe where you can go ahead and set things up. Now, obviously, if you don't have that yet, this will guide you through getting started, or of course, you can log in if you already have that, if you have it from another place where you would do this. All right, so let me log into an account that does have payments, and you'll see what that looks like once you have it set up. You'll see that that's here. If you have multiple Stripe accounts for different purposes, you could connect them here for that reason as well. So once we have this here, there are a number of ways that you can take payment for work with your clients with Get Oiling. I'm kind of curious if anybody here has not yet figured out how to set up payments for the offer that you have, feel free and let me know. I think it would be, certainly be more useful to walk through one of your use cases than to invent one. But I'm happy to walk through any of it here today. But generally speaking, you're going to have a way for people to, say, purchase your time. So maybe you sell a multi-call package. Here's a 6-week wellness series, right? So maybe you sell this for a set amount. And when people purchase, they are now able to take advantage of these 6 calls with you, right? So that would be one very clear and solid option, or maybe just offering a single call for a certain amount as well, right? So in order to set those up, you will want to before you set up your payment, you do want to make sure if what you're selling is your time, that you have first created a call booking package in Get Oiling, or you have set up a booking type if this is a one-off, right? If the thing that you're selling is a one-time thing, create a booking type. Or you could do a package of one as well. Actually, that's probably what I would do. Create a call package, regardless of what it is. Create a package. So that's the first thing you would do. And then you would actually go and add that to a page, and we would set that page up to take payment. Another option would be to create a vault in your member area. And that's right here. And this is going to be based on what it is that you're offering. So if this is a course, that's very straightforward. You would put a class in here, and you would, and then you would set it up for payment, right? So I would add a class to a vault. I would go to payment setup, require payment, allow anyone with a link to purchase, because I do want to share this. I would connect my payment processor, give it a name. It will remind you about CBD, by the way. I would add a plan, and then I could sell what's in this vault. So that would be true for a course. If you have a class inside of here, if you serve clients privately, and you want to provide a space where they can chat with you, and they can maybe also reference course material, upload things to share with you, etc. A vault is a really great option for that as well. This is going to be more for either in a group setting. It could certainly be a group setting. That would be more like a course with a discussion room. But for private clients, you would set one of these up where it's just for one person, and it would just be their vault. Now, if this is you and that's what you want to do, I would definitely recommend that you take advantage of the unlimited vaults and classes add-on that's available with Get Oiling. And this is, again, it's going to be higher price point, higher touch, right? Where you have clients that you're working with one-on-one, maybe through a 90-day series or something like this. And you want to provide a dashboard for them. A vault would be an ideal place to do that. And with vaults, you can actually set up multi-part payments. So if you are selling, a 90-day package with you, that 90-day package is $1,200, but you allow them to break that up into 3 payments of $400 or something to that effect. You can do that here, whereas that is not something we can do on Pages. Let me see. Candace says, can we use another payment option from another processor, such as Square or PayPal? So at the present moment, no, not fully linked into the system. That said, there are ways that you can make these connections. So if you wanted to keep those, I would go to connected apps here. I would get in touch with the team potentially, and maybe have Zapier, see if Greg can connect Zapier here for you, and then that way you can fully automate everything. You can embed, I think PayPal will do this for sure. They'll give you an embed code that you can put into a page on your website. So that's an option too, or a PayPal button. So yeah, it's possible. It's just not going to tie in as seamlessly, right? So the seamless tie-in is that when they purchase, they're automatically given access to these things. They're tagged this way, etc. So the answer to that would be to maybe create an automation that does all of those things that you would have done in Get Oiling. And then you could use Zapier to do that. Or when you see that client or customer come through, you could add them to your Get Oiling account here and apply that automation to them, right? So that it basically does all of the things that the system would otherwise do. All right. So, I mean, we are really kind of in that final stage here of like what you would need to do. We're obviously talking about getting set up to sell. So, if as we're going through this, you guys, if you guys want to talk about any of this one-on-one or you want to troubleshoot together, we can definitely do that. Rebecca says, if you work one-on-one in a vault for 90 days, how can you then save that info but use the link for the next client? So I actually talk about this more on our Attractwell channel where folks aren't oily. They just do their other stuff that they do. But essentially what this would be is a private client dashboard. And you would want to have unlimited vaults for this. What I recommend doing is creating a template vault, right? So you've got a template vault, and maybe in that vault, you've got a class, you've got a discussion room, you've got a couple of pages, and that template vault, you can actually just go and duplicate, right? So if this is my template vault, I'm going to duplicate this, and this is going to be 90-day program name, and this is Jenny's, right? So this is hers, just hers. I'm reusing the class because I'm not using discussion. If we are using discussion, I'm just going to make a copy of it. I'm just going to reuse it here though. So make a copy. And now this is Jenny's vault. This is just Jenny. So if I agreed with Jenny that she's going to pay a certain amount, let's say I'm going to click allow anyone, because I'm going to give this to her. I'm going to be copying this link to give to her. Jenny will have her 90-day plan. So 90 days, Jenny. You would have to, whoa, why did it do that? She's got a payment plan. We'll do a recurring payment, or let me see. We're going to do 300 for 4 monthly payments of $300. Great. Need to put a client tag here. So I'm just going to put client. And I'm going to add this plan. So I'm going to save this. And this is only for Jenny, right? So if I go back to my list of vaults, this is just Jenny, right? But I still have my template vault here. So if I sign up another client, I just go here and I duplicate. And this is 90-day program Joe. And I'm going to make a copy of this because, again, this is my template. This is for Joe. I'm going to set him up for payment. And he'll have the same one. He will get the client tag as well. I'll add him. I'll save. Right? Obviously, you would do a little bit more here. The checkout page is what it looks like when you're selling. And so now I have a space that's just for Jenny. I have a space that's just for Joe. So I'm not copying Jenny's and Joe's. I'm just copying the template. All right, so let me see. Do customers receive a receipt from Stripe when they purchase off our website? It's a good question, Bonnie. I believe there's a separate email. So if you have a campaign attached to this, like when they purchase the vault, it's going to send a welcome to vault campaign. There is a separate email that goes out to them that's generated by our system connected to Stripe. So yes, there is one like that when they purchase off of your site. And that's another thing that you would have to work out if you're using, a PayPal or a Square or some other thing that's not integrated. This integration does create that opportunity. It does send that on your behalf. They do get a receipt. Thank you for that. All right. So yeah, that's how you save the info. So if you are doing private client work, you would put them into a vault by basically design the vault that you would want every client to be able to go through, duplicate it, just keep it as it is and duplicate it every time you get a new client. And then you would be able to take the link and share with them to have them pay, right? When you want to actually sign them up, you want to get them started. Now let's talk about what it looks like to actually just sell your time, put your call packages onto pages. This is pretty simple and straightforward. If we go to website pages, again, an important thing that you want if you're going to be taking payment, you want to have custom pages. So we want to be at basic and higher. So we go to add. Why not? We'll just grab a sales page. Maybe we are selling a series of calls or something like this. I'll use watercolor. Uh, we can even have AI help us with this. So what kind of page do I want? I want this to be a sales page. Um, this is going to be for, what are we going to do? This page sells my 90-day transformation program titled 90 Days to a New Me. Let me see. It includes weekly calls for 90 days, a private, let me see, a private dashboard to ask questions and get targeted help, as well as my 90-day curriculum where they can watch workouts. Let me see, get recipes, track their progress, and more. There we go. So create my page. Now, I did say that there was something that you need to do first before you set that up. I'm breaking my rule. Let's come over here to our booking types, our bookings, and create a call package. So this is a weekly call package for 90 days. So this is going to be 90 days to a new me. These are hour-long calls for a private client. We'll meet using Zoom on my primary booking calendar. I'm not going to ask any additional questions. This is going to be embedded in a page anyway, so you don't have to worry too much about this. The number of sessions in this package is 12. They need to book within 90 days. If they want to rebuy, I can come back and put a link to the sales page here if they would like to do a 90-day with me again. We don't need to worry about this because the page is going to be handling it. I can finish with my scheduling settings here, etc. Let me just go ahead and save this. Obviously, you can make modifications to your heart's content here, and we have more trainings on how you can set this up. If you need help with it, of course, our team is here. So I'll come back over here. It is still working on creating my page. So once that's done, I'll actually be able to embed this package or apply this call package and maybe even allow them to book their first call with me from the point of sale. There we go. Love it. Replace this image with your preferred background image. Should be, oh, this is interesting. I haven't actually used this before. So this is great. It's giving me copy that is pretty well positioned. Obviously, I would want to go through some of these images are really goofy and we need to change them. AI is not really getting closer to getting right with images, I feel like. So anyway, I would modify this to make it look the way I want it to, sell the things that I want to sell, etc. Here's our price. Here's everything. Weekly coaching calls, private dashboard access, 90-day curriculum, progress tracking tools, exclusive recipes. This is great. It assumed some things that are pretty awesome. So anyway, once I have my sales page created to my liking, I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to go ahead and create a payment option here. And this is going to be a one-time payment. And this would be a one-time payment option. If you want something that is going to allow for multi-part payments, you do want to set that up in a vault, like I just showed you. And then you would be applying that call package to the vault when they purchase at the vault. So a payment processor is Stripe. This is going to be 90 days to a new me. I'm going to charge $7.97 for this. Let me see. My tag here is I've got a client tag. I'm going to tag the program as well. Maybe I have multiple things I offer and everyone who buys any of them is client, gets client tag, right? I'm going to add them to maybe a course vault, right? Or in this case, we wouldn't be putting a private client vault here. Please don't do that. That's why you want to have their name next to it. But this would maybe be for anybody, right? So maybe I just have a course version of this that no one interacts in. I would also apply that call package, 90 days to a new me. So all of those get done at the point of sale. I can also go back into settings under leads and under fields and booking. I can show my calendar booking. and allow them to book their first 90 days to a new me call. I can go ahead and get a little bit of intake information from them here if I want to, you know, get their goals or any other info. If I want to ask, maybe I am a practitioner and I need to see their labs or some type of information like that. I could ask for a file to be uploaded, maybe upload documents here, screenshots or something like that. Once I have all of that done, I would want to send them to some kind of a thank you page. Let me see if, yeah, I have a thank you page already. Obviously, you would want to create one. Our system can help you create one pretty simply and easily. I'm going to use no campaign here because the vault is going to send one for me. Otherwise, you may want to write an email in a campaign that sets expectations, welcomes them, etc. The tags are being handled at the point of purchase in our payments tab, so we don't need to worry about that here. I can say done and save and go view this. I'm not sure that the form is on the page. I might need to create a pop-up. There we go. Yeah, it's there. So now we can take their information, even take their uploads if we want to, take their payment, and have them book the first call in their call package series, right? So obviously, if you are doing more than selling Young Living, you obviously can sell things here on your site. Another option, if you do something that's a little bit more e-commerce centric, is you can use the store feature here in Get Oiling as well. So you can create items in your store. I've seen folks use these for consults, for just anything that you want to maybe add to cart. So maybe if you sell your time, but you also sell a journal, right? Or you sell a book or something like that. That would be a great use case for having those things in one place. And then maybe also using that as a place to promote maybe a seat to a class that you're selling, right? Because our built-in events setting, you can use like PayPal, for instance. You could like connect a PayPal button to them, but it's not fully integrated into the system. But you can, use events to point to your store or a store item where someone could maybe purchase a seat in an upcoming group AFT session or something like that, right? All right, let me see if I have any questions that we haven't answered yet. Thank you guys for sticking around and being amazing. Do you guys have questions? Is there anything that you would like to see recovered or anything that you want to dig into a little bit more before we get going here today? Sheila, I'm going to shoot you a link here in just a second to that, to the call for today. I'll just shoot you the link to the Zoom to join it. And I'll put that in the chat here so everybody can join. And by the way, it's attractwell.com/office hours is where you want to go if you would like to be on the list for our Attractwell calls. Those tend to be obviously a little bit more advanced in terms of use cases, where people are working in a dedicated sense, not as sharers, network marketers, but very specifically as folks who are consultants or coaches, practitioners, etc. All right, I'm going to copy this link here. If you guys would like to join the call that we're doing on long form content for Attractwell at 11:30 today, I've put that here in the chat. So yeah, the Attractwell is attractwell.com/office hours. And by the way, if you guys are getting our emails from Get Oiling, we have, and actually it should be here in your dashboard as well. Yeah. So if you are interested in moving more into branding yourself, centering what it is that you do, obviously this doesn't demote or diminish at all the oils and sharing. In fact, in my view, if you're elevating your brand and the conversations that you're having in an attempt to attract a following, you're going to be able to reach more people more meaningfully and get more serious people onto Young Living product for the long run if you're following these strategies, right? So if you just show up somewhere and say, hey, I've got oils, come try them, a few people are going to say yes. But if you show up consistently enough and say, hey, you right there, I know what you're dealing with. I can help you with this. And you do that consistently. You start to build an army of people who know that you get them, who are excited to hear what you have to say. And when you talk to those people about oils, they want to buy 300 PV worth to get all of the bonuses, right? They want to invest in solutions, right? So if you're interested in that, check this out right here. We've got live coaching and cohorts that we're going to be offering in January. This is something that I've been promoting to the Attract Well audience. But if you are a brand partner who is interested in leveling up your personal brand and the things that you offer, how you consult and sell, things like this, as a way to really put a fine-tuned brand point out front that we can oil and keep oiled on the back end, I would definitely check these out. All of these, I think, are going to be really helpful for anyone who is here on the call today. I do go over each of these. The Business Igniter is going to be for you if you're newer to the offer that you're selling, or if you are just, new to selling your time, your results yourself, what it is that you do. The Business Igniter is going to be a great cohort for that. Brand Systems Lab is excellent as well if you want to really dial in and nail down what you show up looking like visually. And then the Perennial Program Workshop really is about outlining, defining, refining what it is that you sell. And the Impact Amplifier Academy is a pretty advanced deep dive on almost everything that you can do with a Get Oiling system. Obviously, anywhere you see Attract Well's name, the answer to will it get oiling is yes. That's the resource bundles, all of it. It's the same software. It's just what we sell to people who don't oil. So I hope you guys take advantage of this. Oh, by the way, yeah. So these are already ridiculously priced, just FYI. But oh goodness, I need to fix that. Sorry. If we come over here and you guys use the code Get Oiling on this page. So all in with all of this, and you use the code Get Oiling, it's 30% off. So it's a really great price. And this means that you get hands-on help for what are these? Like a 4-week one, a 6-week one? It's a good deal. So if you're ready to level up and really dial in what your brand looks like, getting more clients and setting yourself up for that full professional presence in 2026 is going to be a great option for you. So hope you guys take a look at it. The link is in your dashboard. We are going to keep this open here over the holiday. It's just barely after the new year when this ends. So definitely recommend that you check that out. Oh, Tina, that's right. Yes, so many third-party things you can get rid of. The conversation we usually have with the Attract Well crowd, because with Get Oiling and with oilers, most of us don't really know a lot of this stuff unless we were already doing other things like you're familiar with. Most of us are just like, well, I just need to do better with how I share, right? But once we see that there are more things that we can do, the conversation we have with folks who find us with Attract Well, these are people who are spending often $1,000 a month on all of the different tools that they're using that you could just do in one place. And guys, every single thing you can do in Attract Well, you can do in Get Oiling. And people with big businesses are spending $1,000 a month on 7 other tools and come to our platforms and shrink that by a massive fraction. So you can get all that training here. We so appreciate you. We don't gatekeep. We believe in abundance. And we thank you for being a part of this community. All right, we are going to get going. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and I will not see you guys for the new year, but we will have a pre-recorded training and we will be back that first week of January. So I'll see y'all in Momentum in the meantime as well. We do have a call later today. Hope I see you guys there, and maybe also here in a bit on Attract Well. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk soon.